Hello everyone, welcome to another devlog of Project IMP, an MMORPG I'm doing in Unity. It's been some time since the last update, so I think it's about time to show you what I have done in the last few months. This video is more of a general update on the project, and I will cover some of the topics in more detail in separate videos. Starting at the login screen, I added an option for myself to be able to test against the live server or a local environment. This is useful when I'm developing directly in Unity. So I'm using my development builds, and we're going to go ahead and connect to the live server. And these are my characters on the live server. These are all pretty much the same as in the local environment, so no difference there. And you're going to notice right off the bat that there are a few new things. So for those of you that have been following the development of the project, you'll notice there are now avatars, which is nice. Previously it was just a dark background. So these avatars are actually created when the models are generated. So for example, when this soldier, when this knight is generated, quickly I capture an image of its face, and then I cache it in memory. Now when the game is distributed, I'm going to have a script that will generate these images, so when the players are playing the game, it will not have to generate all of them, but rather only the dynamic ones, like player characters for example, which can change as we change gear. Now you'll also notice there's a minimap, and the minimap is the same as an overhead camera, just with a few layers deactivated. I'm not sure if it will stay with this dynamic camera, because it does take a little hit on resources, and it's possible that for most maps the image will be pre-generated and doesn't have to compute every single area that we're in. Some maps might have some dynamic features, but we'll get there. For now this does the job, and I'll continue with this. Another important development is crafting. To do crafting, I'm using spells, and on the spell system I added required regions, required auras, and also a spell effect to create items. But of course we can also have costume effects that generate items in different or special ways. Now for the create potion, you can see that it requires red salt, southern leaves, and empty vial, and we have all of these here. And we're going to go ahead and create a potion. Now to create a potion it requires this aura, and you can see that it gets applied when you enter the area of crafting. And this aura is similar, like just like this one, except it's an aura that I am using it to that is needed for the create potion spell. Now if I press 1, it crafts a potion, and it's linked in the chat, so nearby players will see it at a close enough range. And it doesn't have a close button here, so it disappears only when I go through other tooltips. Now this is pretty nice. It's the beginning of a crafting system. I created only one spell to test out the feature, and it works nice. There's also equipment. So now we can actually equip, for example, this, or it's the same. Shield, you can unequip. So it's pretty nice. You can also have on-use items. So for example, let's take a look at this. I start running and I right click. Yeah, if you notice there, it kind of have the same effect as drinking a potion, so I'll have to work on that, but essentially it does the same as that. It's an item that has a spell attached, and when I press it, it uses the item, similar to using a potion, which activates a spell. So that's pretty neat. A lot of system reusing to make the work easier and less time consuming, because yeah, I'm doing this alone, so it does help to have to do the least possible. Now, one of the biggest wins in the project recently is actually instancing, but to do that I had to do a big server restructuring and refactor, because previously it was only one continent and the auth server, so you authenticate in one server and then you just connect to the continent server and that was it. You talk and party in the same server. Now, if I want to support multiple regions or instances, I need to have many servers talking to each other. For that, I had to have a master server, which kind of acts like a middleman for now. I don't need that in reality, but I found it was easier to do it like that, have a central point where servers talk to that central server, and the central server distributes the messages accordingly. So for example, if I'm server B and I want to talk to server A, then I just send a message to the real master and tell that I want to talk to this server, and it will forward the message to the other server. So it's a simple way to do it. I guess a poor man's kind of message queue. And yes, so now the instances are being created by an instance manager, which is a server by itself. This server, for example, this continent, will request an instance for me when I enter this door, and the real master will forward it to the instance manager will create it, and when it's ready, it will reply to the server through the real master, and then it will tell me to enter the dungeon. When the loading screen appears, it's actually the continent server telling me prepare for a transfer, prepare to go to another server, and only after the server is created, then it actually starts the loading. So let's give it a try. There we go, waiting for the transfer, and here we are. This scene, by the way, so I didn't do any of this, is straight from an asset pack, just to test out this feature. And yeah, so right now I'm in an instance, and I'm really happy actually that finally the server has the ability to create instances, destroy them if they're not used for some time by any player, so if they're empty for some time. And actually, so oh, there we go. So you can see that I'm here in this instance, and if I leave, if we run the same command, now you see I am no longer there. And we have another one here that I made for testing. This actually is one that I put a boss there, but it has no loot. Also some trash mobs. Right now, there we go. And there we go. So another instance is created. The monster is actually waiting to be spawned still, they are on a timer. This has to be instant. There we go. And oh. So now I'm on this instance. So now I leave. You can see, by the way, that the previous one already was destroyed, so it's no longer in the list of instances. This list of instances comes straight from the instance manager. It tells me which ones are active. Also, this is actually on the real master, so it knows who is online in all the servers, so across all the servers. And yeah, so when I change server, the servers tell the real master where I am, so it will say this player is here. So it's a nice way to keep track of who is online, and you know, if you want to write a message as well, the real master also knows where the players are, so it knows where to forward a certain message. The servers themselves don't need to know where a certain player is. It just tells, okay, I want to send a message to this player. If it's on the server itself, it's immediate, but if it's on another server, it just sends to the real master and it goes from there. It does the job. It's a simple system, and I think for now it will stay like this, and I'll keep on pushing forward the instance developments that I have to do, and also Battlegrounds. We can also try this. The queue actually put me on a waiting queue for a Battleground, and I put a max limit for 1, so as soon as one person is in the queue, it puts me straight into a new instance, which is created by the instance manager. I could change this to 5, 10, 15, 20, and then it creates the instance when all players are ready, and we are all teleported at the same time. So I'm working on these mechanics for the Battleground, and the way I'm doing it is using spells. So basically when I click on this flag, I will have a spell that is a visual representation, similar to this one. But instead of this rotating, it just stays on my back. And on the left here, it's an aura that when I enter with this with a flag on me, if I have these two auras at the same time, the Battleground manager will detect when the auras are added or removed from a player. So if I have both this aura of the flag and the aura of the base that I need to go to, then it will give me a point to my team. And then I'm not sure, but I think after 3 here, yeah, basically the Battleground finishes, I got teleported out, and the Battleground finishes. So yeah, lots of updates. Also with the inventory, so as you could see, I could delete. I could also stack items, although right now I don't have separate stacks and I can't split them yet, so I guess I'll do it in some other video. Yeah, you can also see that the character model is also generated based on my items, and before, so let me get for example, like I showed before, there's this, there's the shield. So yeah, before it was only a combination that was static, so I log in, I log out, it stays the same even if I equip items. But now it's actually dynamic, which was needed, and I think it was the right time to do that. So yeah, so that's done. And yeah, I think lots of progress. A face to the dialogues, so that's nice. Training dummies also have. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the progress. It's been many months and I apologize for that. I've been quite busy. Mostly I've been working on the server part, which is not so visible, but you could at least see the result on the instances, if anything. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. If you are new to the channel, I am publishing devlogs and sharing my experience with creating an MMORPG in Unity. You can see my previous devlogs since May 2019, and there is a lot of material that I haven't posted yet from the very beginnings, and I plan to publish some of it later on. So if you want to get notified when new videos are out, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Because I am a small content creator, smashing the like button will help me out a lot.